Vicky, can you hear
So,
me?
yes, I can hear whoever said that.
This is Linda, and I didn't know if you could see me. This Zoom looks different than what I'm used to.
We can.
Let me see. I have my camera off because I'm in my car. No, I cannot see you, Linda.
Okay, I tried to turn it on.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Like where you're at work, it's fine. We don't want to violate any HIPAA confidentiality, so you're okay. So, good morning, everybody. I'm Mickey. I am chair for reentry for McDowell and Mercer. So, because I'm kind of busy, if you guys don't mind, we can do introduction after. I want to go ahead and introduce my speaker for the month, though. Her name is Linda, and she works for the Shellion Circle of Care. She's actually the bigwig of the Shellion Circle of Care. So, Linda, if you want to introduce yourself and say a little bit about your position in your facility, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I'm Linda Carter, and I have the Shillian Circle of Care Center, which is right outside of the Capitol, about 10 minutes from the Capitol. And we have a long-term, 6 to 12-month men's substance use treatment program. It's also under the umbrella of my behavioral health, which is Healthy You Behavioral Health. We have 85 beds. During the course of the program, we follow an RSAT-based program. They receive cognitive behavioral therapy, individual, supportive, group, and follow some pretty strict rules, but at the same time, it's a comfortable, homey setting for them. So it's growing. I'm getting more people every day. I've been in business for 6 years, but I've only been in this location for 2 years.
So, Linda, can you explain a little bit about the process? Because we are reentry, our primary focus is justice impacted individuals. So, can you talk a little bit about how you assist with that?
Yes, we are very much a transitional place for someone that's coming back out from incarceration. It is we try to acclimate them back out into the world slowly. We don't let them or want them to go to work for at least 90 days. We understand that so many of them are very much institutionalized. I have one gentleman right now that's been incarcerated for I think 17 years, and his peer coach is just taking him out and just really just trying to acclimate him back out, to society at all, just taking him out to eat, little things like that. But we work with them very slowly when that's the case. They come to us needing IDs, birth certificates, everything to try to get started back on the path to integrating. And it takes a minute. It takes a while. So 6 months is really not long enough. It's the minimum to try to get anything established for them. We don't want them to leave until they have a means to support themselves and a sober, secure environment. But we particularly work with them with people that are transitioning back out into society.
So, you guys have like basic life skills and you help with them finding housing and so forth
Yeah.
and so on.
Yes.
Okay. So if anybody else has any questions for Linda, please feel free to ask.
Hey, Linda, do you guys have any requirements for anybody to come there? I know some places like you have to have like pending CPS cases or pending felonies, stuff like that.
No, no. I have people that are there just voluntary that are not reentry. So it's a mixture, but I would say 80% of my clients are at least involved at the court and under court supervision in some way, and some are very much reentry. But they all almost all have a long history with arrests and incarceration, even if they're not under supervision right now. No, they can come. That doesn't matter at all. I do like it when they're court ordered because they tend to stay and not run off as much as if they're court ordered, but they don't have to.
Now explain the rule on sex offenders, because a lot of people that struggle the most are the people with whatever type of sex offense.
Well, I take them on a case by case basis. And as you guys know, I'm sure most places will not take anyone if they're on the registry. But it's been my experience that there's a lot of people on the registry that shouldn't be on the registry, and some that I feel are really deserving of a second chance. They made a dumb mistake when they were, 19 or 20 years old with a 15-year-old. And I run into that constantly. And, their lives are pretty much ruined, stigmatized by that forever. So it's case by case. If it's something really, really heinous, then I don't accept them, because there would be such a community outcry in this little place that we're at, because they didn't want us there in the first place. So I do take them. It just depends on what they've done. I just like to know the ages of the victim and of the client before, when it happened. That makes a big difference. But I'm definitely open to taking sex offenders and people that have had violent crimes, whereas most places don't take them at all.
Okay, does anybody else have any more questions or
Uh,
anything?
sorry, Mickey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Linda, I imagine you all do in-house classes or meetings. Do any of the residents there, do they ever have the opportunity to go to outside meetings for recovery support?
They have the opportunity, as long as they're with their peer coach.
Okay, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It is. And I'd like to do more of that. And they also attend Celebrate Recovery every week at a local church. So they get to do that. We just got a van, and I'm going to try to get them out to more recovery events than I have been able to in the past. So they're looking forward to that. And just so you
So,
know, we take Medicaid. That's all we take is just Medicaid. They don't
so
have to
if
pay
a
anything to get
person,
in.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's no entry fee.
Okay, so if a person wanted to follow their religious beliefs, like I know Muslims pray so many times a day. They have their rug, they roll out. It doesn't matter where they're at. If they're outside on the sidewalk, they will roll that rug out and they will drop down and do their prayer. Now, is that allowed? Like, say you're in a group and it's time for their prayer. Are they excused for that? Or
Yes.
if a person wants to go to church on Sundays, is that provided?
Yes, ma'am. Any religion, whatever they want, whatever their faith is, we respect that. And there's a lot of other things that go along with Islam that we also abide by. For as far as food and certain specific holidays. That's pretty much. I have some Odinism in there, that a lot of them have picked up while incarcerated, and we accommodate that to the best of our ability as well. No one is forced to go to church. We have guest preachers that come in every week, but no one is made to attend. And on Sundays, there's a few churches that come and pick them up. Whoever wants to go, it's voluntary.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's really an important faith is really an important part of their success. But we're not a faith-based organization, but I highly encourage it.
That's awesome. Do anybody else have any more questions or anything they would like to request from Linda? I'm asking this because I know Linda is very busy. She and I work together a lot, so I know she's very busy. Okay, so Linda, if there's no more questions or anything for you, I'm going to thank you for attending our meeting and explaining you guys this program. That's been very, very helpful. So if there's nothing else.
Oh, sorry, Linda, can you put your contact information, or if you have a website or
Yes, we have
anything like that?
we have a website. Yeah, let me send it all to Mickey, I guess, and she can get it out to you.
Yep, Mickey,
Yes.
send it on to me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. It was nice to meet you.
Okay, so sorry that I had to kind of get her in there and get her out, but when she agreed to do the meeting, this is her terms because she does run that facility. That is her facility, so it's always stuff all day, half the night, every day. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward with our meeting. Krisha, do you have anything you want to present, or does anybody want to talk about what they do and all that stuff?
Sure, I will drop a bunch of things into the chat, just different things that are coming up. On the 29th, I think it is, we're doing a showing of Sing Sing in Wheeling. It is the true story of men incarcerated, and they are part of the theater program. And so it's just their way of releasing aggression and pent up frustrations and getting it out there and being creative and just being who their true identity is. But part of the clip is he's in an interview, and I don't know if it's with an attorney, and she's like, so you're an actor, you do these things, and are you acting with me right now? And so she doesn't believe him because his passion is acting. So we're doing a screening of that next week. I will drop information also in for the Leading for Justice seminar in January in Charleston. And we're looking for proposals for anyone that wants to present at that. Tara's already dropped her stuff in. And then I'm sure you'll talk about Save a Life Day in your area. And I think that's all I've got.
I'm sorry, I'm putting my contact info in the chat, and I'm not a very good texter. I know Southern Highlands is doing the Save a Life event. Also, we've been distributing book bags for underprivileged children. They did a big event in Princeton, but I think now it's just each separate clinic. You know, we still have some and we're still giving them out. Other than that, I don't think Southern Highlands have any big events planned other than Save a Life. Does anybody else have anything?
We're also going to be involved with Save a Life Day, with McDowell County Day Report. Other than that, no. That's something I wanted to ask you about, Mickey. Is there an event going on for overdose awareness day in McDowell County this year?
Not that I'm aware of yet. That is something that I need to set a plan with our outreach coordinator and my supervisor, because that's something I too wanted to know.
Okay. Well, if not, we'll definitely make sure that we get started on work towards that.
Okay. Even if Southern Highlands isn't planning to do it as a whole, you and I could collaborate to get something going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all I wanted to know, though. But yeah, that's all that we have going on here at the Day Report is being involved with Save a Life Day on the 26th.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys have? Well, I will say this. I am the lead PRSS, which stands for Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion. I work with the judicial system in McDowell County. I recently incorporated Logan County, but I am transitioning into the intercept coach, which means crisis prevention team. Which will provide extra support for those who are struggling in their recovery. Other than that, there's not really too much going on at the moment. I will still be working with justice impacted individuals. That is both an intercept and lead position. If there's any resources that I may have that you guys need, I've put my contact number in the chat. You guys can feel free to call me or email me, whichever one is easier for you guys. Well, with that, Pusha, I'm gonna turn it over to you. And this meeting's been kind of quick.
It has. Do we want to do introductions? I mean, there's a few people on here that I don't recognize, but I may. So
I can't see.
okay.
So, yeah, so I didn't know that. So yeah.
There's a few people like Roger and Kay Klein and Tanjanika maybe that I don't. So we'll just do a
Okay.
quick round of introductions. And so I'm Krisha Spears with the Reach Initiative. I do all of the reentry councils across the state, and all kinds of other things behind the scenes for the Reach Initiative. So we'll pass it over to Aaliyah. And you can pass it on.
Hello, my name's Aaliyah Tanner. I work for Disability Rights of West Virginia. We are the federally mandated protection and advocacy group for people with disabilities in the state. Every state is required to have us in some form or fashion. My specific focus is what they call the CAP program and the PABS program. CAP specifically deals with vocational rehabilitation and kind of sort of makes sure that vocational rehab is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And PABS is protection advocacy of people with that are beneficiaries of Social Security. So the main focus is people, yeah, for me, is people that have barriers to employment that are disability related and helping them overcome those barriers. We have 9 different programs focusing on different types of disabilities. We do direct advocacy, we do systemic advocacy, we also do litigation, but that's on a case-by-case basis, and I am not an attorney, so I don't get to make that call. I did put our contact information and our website in the chat. I would recommend anybody going to the website. We have loads and loads and loads of resources there for people to use and to print off and to use for free. Our services are free of charge, and there is no age limit. And like so we have multiple programs. If it's disability related, we probably have a program that it falls underneath of. What I'm working on right now, and that's why I'm coming to the reentry, is helping people who have been through the justice systems. And I'm specifically trying to work with juveniles to where they don't continue the cycle. Yeah, they get jobs, they move on with their lives, and they do what they need to do to, for lack of a better term, become gainful members of society.
So you said there's no age limit. So do you guys also help find like further education for individuals who say want their GED or want to take some kind of vocational training or go to college, or do you find resources for them?
What we would do in that case is we would actually refer them to Division of Rehab, which is the vocational rehab agency for the state. The purpose of DRS, Division of Rehab or Rehabilitation, is to assist people with disabilities overcome barriers to employment. That is anything, any barrier. Do they need counseling for anger management? Do they need counseling for impulse control? Do they need hearing aids? Do they need dentures? They want to go to college. DRS can really, really help with all of that. So, and that's what we would do initially, is we would tell them that's where they need to go. If DRS, everything runs smoothly, then we wouldn't need to do anything more. But if things don't run smoothly, let's say they get denied services, or it takes 3 months for them to hear from their counselor or whatever, then they could call us back. And in that time, in that moment, we would actually do direct advocacy, which is where I would be working with the client and Division of Rehab to find out where the breakdown is and to correct the breakdown.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, and I will say that DRS has a very, very broad definition of disability. Diabetes, asthmatic, fibromyalgia. It's very, very broad. Things that most people, even people within our realm, in our world, don't consider really a disability. DRS, it's under their covered.
And that's great because I do know some people or some, I guess you would say, agencies who work with disabled people, but they don't feel like a previous substance use history is a disability. I know DRS does, so that's why I'm saying they're great, but I don't understand how they can't see that substance use is a disability. Like, it actually affects the neurotransmitters in a person's brain and can cause memory loss, slow functions, all kinds of stuff, which makes them disabled for certain positions.
Like in our case, because we're funded by the Department of Education and Social Security Administration. So Social Security Administration, and this is government agencies, is a little slow to update things. We have difficulties putting our funding towards anything that has to do with substance abuse. Even though ADA changed the rule in 2022, the way our funds are written by the Social Security Administration and by the Department of Education, excuse me, we have difficulties. So what we try to do is put it with something else.
So like some type of mental health issue, which, you know, I believe most substance use disorders stem from a diathesis of some form of mental health.
I think my supervisor called it co-occurring.
Yep, co-occurring, comorbid.
Yep. And so so if we can do something like that, then we can usually get it through. But if we can't, then, so we're really just waiting until the grants are rewritten to show that we can do things that have to do with that. I will say that, because I don't deal with funding, I just, with like outreach events and things like that, I have some that are coming up that actually have to do with substance abuse.
Send me a list of those to my email. Those might be some that maybe me and Cody could show up for. Maybe he could give out, information about what the program he works for offers and how things run. And, of course, I have tons of information for Southern Highlands that would assist people that are trying to achieve recovery.
One of the ones actually that I'm going to, Tara Mason put in the chat already. I'm going to that one in Martinsburg. And another one that I'm going to, which I'll just go ahead and put it in the chat. That's a family resource. I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat while other people are talking. So yeah, one of them is the one in Martinsburg that I'm going to. So what I did was I found my supervisor and I found a way to word it that we were going to be, we're not there for the reasons of substance abuse. We are there because there's a lot of people with disabilities and their families, and this is a community event. So we just,
But that Southern Highlands originally started as solely a mental health facility. We incorporated SUD, I think, back in 16 or 17, something like that. So, I feel like that would be a great event to attend.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything you guys send me as far as events or anything, I put it through to see if we can go.
Okay.
Anything you guys send me. Were there any other questions? I'll pass it off.
Okay.
I guess we'll go with William Long.
Okay, yeah, I'm William Long. Most people know me as Cody. I worked as PRSS for Family Treatment Court here in McDowell County. Work out of the data report office down here. So I also work with a lot of the adult drug court participants as well as people on probation and parole. I do peer services with them. I help facilitate groups and classes. And just try and find ways to get them engaged in the recovery as well as getting them involved in their communities. Because I think that is a big part of recovery for others is to be involved in some form of service, because that lends itself to purpose, which, for most people with substance use disorder, find that having that purpose through service is what keeps us going in our recovery. That's really all about me, though. I'll pass it off to Megan.
Hey guys, I'm Megan Dobbs, so I'm the PRSS of West Virginia Collegiate Recovery Network at Bluefield State, and as of September 1st, I'll also be over Concord University as well. We are a support network for students who are in recovery, and we table out in the community. We hand out Narcan. We train our students in Narcan. We have a SmartRxU ambassador that trains 100 students per semester in medication safety and the dangers of using. We have a CSPIF student here on campus. And yeah, yeah. Sorry, I blanked.
So at Bluefield State University, do you guys also trying to think of the correct term because I know you guys aren't counselors, but if someone is struggling in some way with mental health or, maybe they're feeling a little depressed or, or overwhelmed with curriculum and things like that, do you guys also provide a service to help them cope with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are located here in the counseling center, and we have a counselor here in the counseling center. With the student and everything, anything past 3 counseling sessions, we might refer out, or if the need is higher, then we might refer out to, mental health facilities, stuff like that. So,
Okay. That's great.
and
Well, if nobody has questions for you, you can go ahead and pass it off.
I'll pass it to Terry.
Good morning, guys. I'm Terry Philpott, and I am an employee of Concord University. I am the Director of Practicum Education and an instructor of social work in the MSW program. And I am back. Our classes started yesterday, so.
Is there any stipulations on those classes? Like I know some schools, their qualifications to get in are a little extensive, so that makes it hard for felons to attend.
At Concord?
Yes.
I work particularly in the MSW program, but we have had folks actually, we're not as expensive as some of the other, excuse me, colleges and universities in the state of West Virginia. And we are to the point now, we have several programs that are completely online, both undergraduate and graduate. So if they don't ever want to come to campus, they don't particularly have to.
Okay.
I was about to say, so I'm a social work major at Concord also, and a felon, and I haven't had any issues there, but I do know other students who has had issues getting in there, and I think it depends on maybe your previous college history and GPA and stuff of that nature. But I didn't have any issue, and Concord's been great with it.
Okay, that's good to know.
I was going to say, Megan, I know several students that have that same testimony, that they really haven't had many problems at all. So I do feel like we're very conducive to accepting students from whatever backgrounds, and trying to help them understand those backgrounds don't ever have to become a barrier. So
I would definitely agree to that. And I know a ton of students who at other colleges are terrified to let their professors know that they're in recovery or their background or anything like that. And I've never felt that way at Concord.
No.
So it's pretty
In
awesome.
fact, one of our big events that we have every year, and Megan, you're smiling because you already know this, is the Sober Halloween Party. And we have it with our counseling center staff. And you would be very, very pleasantly surprised to see how many, not just students, but community members that come out and support the Sober Halloween Party and those kind of events. So,
Okay. When is that?
That will be on Halloween this year. Not so sure about the time, so I'll be taking over September 1st and we'll be working out those details. So by next month, I'll have more information for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
okay, is there anybody that hasn't gone yet? Nope. Okay, I'm the last one, I guess.
Oh no, my name is Tanjanika Martin. I'm the reentry coordinator at McDowell County Correctional Center. I work hand in hand with the West Virginia Parole Board, and I also try to prepare offenders for rehabilitation and reentry back out into society. I was super excited to hear Linda Carter this morning because she said she takes sex offenders, and that's one of my biggest challenges. It's taking sex offenders, but I see Danica shaking her head, so that's a no-go, I guess. But any help or any place that takes sex offenders, that's my biggest challenge, due to the fact that most of them don't have families and they don't have anywhere to go. So again, my name is Tanjanika Martin from McDowell County Correctional Center, and I'm passing this to Danica Brown since she was shaking her head no.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Thanks, Tanjanika. My name is Danica Brown. I work for the Division of Corrections and Rehabilitation at Central Office. I assist with housing for parolees, and there are some recovery places that sex offenders have been accepted to. However, they have to have victims that are not youth. They have to be adults. And as far as placement in terms of transitional housing for sex offenders that don't have recovery needs, there's only one place that we have that they go, and those are usually that's usually harvest time. They have a waiting list, but if any of the sex offenders are proved to have support from Social Security, or if they have money to get an apartment, we do have landlords on a case by case that rent to them as well. And Tanjanika, if you email me or call me, I'll connect you with the parole officer that has that information. Because I was recently able to place 2 sex offenders in apartments that had a landlord that had been approved to rent to them.
I haven't went yet. My name is, that's okay.
Go ahead, Roger.
My name is Roger Griffith. I am the campus director for New River Community Technical College for both the Princeton location and the Greenbrier Valley campus. We do work with our local day reports when they send us folks. We also work with the reentry councils across our service region. A lot of our programs are designed to put people back with employable skills in the shortest amount of time possible. There are very few barriers to our programs based on your criminal background, with the exception of some of the medical fields and a very few of the trades work programs. But for the most part, we've had a number of people that have done reentry and been successful through New River. If you ever have a question or concern about that, just don't hesitate to contact our admissions office or to contact myself. I put my contact information in the box. Thank you very much.
I haven't gone yet. My name is Jen Call. I am the outreach coordinator for the Northwood Health Systems crisis units. We are actually located in the Northern Panhandle. However, we take referrals from all over the state. We do have 2 crisis units. We have one in Wheeling and one in Weirton. We are a dual facility and we can admit for substance use disorder and mental health crises. We have the capacity to serve 16 clients at each unit, so a total of 32. They can be experiencing withdrawal symptoms, in need of medication management adjustment, or experiencing severe to acute psychiatric signs and symptoms. Our goal is to stabilize their symptoms, make referrals, and connect them to follow-up care. And our crisis unit is open 24/7 for males and females 18 and older. I put my information in the chat. If you have any questions or a referral, please let me know.
I haven't gone yet either. My name is Brianne Zitting. I'm a paralegal at Legal Aid, and I work with Marie Bechtel with Jobs and Hope, serving anybody who is a participant with Jobs and Hope to remove any civil legal barriers in them re-entering the workplace. So the majority of that work is record expungements and getting their driver's licenses reinstated.
Is there anybody else who hasn't gone yet?
I don't think Laura or Tara, are you guys available?
Hi, this is Laura Garner. I'm the community outreach liaison with the health plan. We are one of the MCOs in West Virginia.
Hello, I am Tara Mason, and I am the founder, executive director, and president for the Hope Dealer Project. We assist individuals here in the Eastern Panhandle with getting into various different treatment programs. We offer a complete wraparound, so whether they need detox, rehab, sober living, job and placement, or legal representation as far as going into the courts and advocating on their behalf, going into the jails, getting applications for treatment and things of that sort. We recently received the governor's endorsement proclaiming the entire state of West Virginia will go purple during National Recovery Month. So keep that in mind. I did drop the proclamation into the chat. We are hosting a Recovery Fest for the West Virginia Goes Purple movement on September 28th. If you are a resource provider, all are welcomed. There is a registration link, so if you would like that, feel free to give me a call on my cell or send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to send you the link. That's all I have.
Are there anybody else who hasn't gone? Well, if not, Krisha, the floor is yours.
I don't have anything else. Looking at the list, next month is Matthew Atwood from Catholic Charities. Is the presenter. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, it's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's all I have. So Cody, Dalmico, Mickey, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Thank everybody.
Yes, thank you all.
All right, well, then that concludes our meeting for this month.
All right, we'll see everybody next month or later today for some of us. All right. Bye.